So, Justin, you made a video about this entire Raja Jackson incident. I think people are pretty up to speed in terms of what happened. And I'll just give a quick summary once again. He came to the event. The guy, Psycho Stu, thought the cameras were on and did a bit. He pretended to smash a beer can on his head. Yes, he did it in a way not to hurt him, but it may have hurt him. He didn't know it was coming. I get that you shouldn't just do that out of the blue, and he should have asked permission. He then went on to apologize to Raja Jackson multiple times. Raja Jackson said, I get it. I understand. He supposedly accepted the apology. That's what he said. He accepted the apology to him. And then in the leading up to going in there and doing the bit, he's talking to his chat and he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to get in there. This guy's trying to punk me, whatever. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to hit him as many times as I can until they pull me off. I'm going to seriously see how many punches I can land. He's telling this to his chat. So the whole thing is premeditated. He has ample time to calm down. Usually when you're using aggression or rage as a mitigating factor in an attempted murder charge, it can't be a large passage of time. Once there's a large passage of time, there's no excuse. So there's no mitigating circumstances. There's no, oh, he did that to me and you just reacted. And so we're going to make it, we're going to lessen the charge and say you did that in the heat of the moment, in the heat of rage. So that's out. He talked to his chat, goes in there, slams him on his head. I'm not even going to play the clip because it's so disgusting and I'm so sick of seeing it. Slams him on his head. That in and of itself should have been a problem. That in and of itself should be an assault and battery charge, the way he slammed him down. Because you got to know, as an MMA fighter, that's going to knock somebody out. And then he continues to rain down. Justin counted 23 punches on this guy, causing multiple facial fractures, including multiple lost teeth because he didn't have a mouth guard in, right? Think about that. He's landing down punches. He knows the guy doesn't have a mouth guard in. Insane. And the guy is still in the hospital recovering. Okay. That's the backstory. That's what happened. We're going to talk about this entire thing. Justin, you made a video about it. You were one of the first people to check out the story on Reddit. Let me hear your thoughts on this whole incident and where you stand.
Yeah, so just a review from this incident, man, and I was so bummed, and I was just telling Huzaifa how I dropped the ball on this. It sucks because we were, or at least maybe I was, one of the first people to see this story. I tried to rush a video really quick at like midnight at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't even realize, Huzaifa pointed out to me the next morning that when I made the video, my mic was lined up. I have a new mic stand up here and I had the mic behind me. My video was all echoey and it just was a really bummer at the moment, but regardless. So there's like a 10-minute video of the whole lead up. All right. So, and if you guys haven't seen it, I have all the video clips because I was going to make a more detailed video the next day. Unfortunately, by the time I woke up at 11 o'clock the next day, the whole internet is flooded with everybody and their 2 cents. And unfortunately, I just missed my timing there on that, trying to be the first. But anyways, there's a video of him in the building. And he's talking to one of the pro wrestlers. And the pro wrestlers, hey, come out back with me and let me introduce you to the guys. And him being a wrestling fan, Raja being a wrestling fan, he goes out to the back. He's talking to some of the wrestlers, and Raja's giving an opinion on this other wrestler and blah, blah, blah. And now, Psycho Stu or whatever his name is comes up. And he's like, oh, you've never heard of me? He's like, no, bro, I don't know who you are. Stu grabs the prop beer can. Now, let me tell you this. When I was in college, all right, there was this, I was at a fraternity and my buddy got in an argument with somebody, turned his back to him. The guy comes back, takes a real beer can, hits him over the head with it. And just to tell you guys the difference of a real beer can to a prop beer can. When my buddy got hit over the head with this beer can, it knocked him to the ground unconscious, cut him on his forehead right here. He's on the ground holding his head. Beer went everywhere and a big brawl broke out. All right. So guys, you guys have to understand the difference between a real beer can and a prop beer can. Now, when the wrestler, you see him reach up it's funny because I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. That's the whole reason I got into MMA. Cause when I was, 7, 8 years old, I thought pro wrestling was real wrestling and real fighting. That's what got me into it. So when you see him go out with the prop, and again, I'm not justifying the wrestler. All right. But I'm telling you the facts of the story. Psycho Stu reaches out with his left hand. He grabs the can and smashes the can on his hand, preventing Raja from getting cut. All right, Raja stands there, takes it, and then they have like a stare down. He's like, come on, man, sell it. He says something along those lines like, are you going to sell it? All right, what? And again, I don't know the wrestler. I don't know him, but from what I'm gathering from this is he thought that Raja, because he's like, dude, you have all the cameras around you. I thought you were another wrestler. He goes up to him. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He holds his hand out. And this, if you don't see the full video, you're going to miss this thing. He holds his hand out. Raja says, no, dude, I'm good. I'm not going to shake your hand. And then the wrestler walks away from him. And then the promoter comes up, or another wrestler. He's like, hey, man, he thought he was working. He thought you were on the job. I'm sorry. The wrestler comes back. He's like, hey, man, again, I just want to apologize. Holds his hand out. Raja shakes his hand, and the wrestler walks away. Wrestler goes. What's that?
And I just want to jump in real quick. That's very important, guys. So again, he accepted the apology is the point there. Okay, sorry, Justin. Keep going.
And there's more. So that's the first handshake. He reaches his hand out. Raja very casually shakes his hand, says, it's cool, it's cool. The wrestler goes and sits down in a chair. Raja walks back up to him. The wrestler says, I'm going to paraphrase, but it's going to be very close. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I thought you were working, and I'm really sorry. And he holds his hand out again. And Raja's like, hey, man, it's good. And then the promoter's like, hey, and again, I'm paraphrasing, guys, but it's very close. Hey, man, how about we throw you into the ring and we get your payback? And he's like, really, you'll do that for me? And everyone's like, yeah, we'll set it up. So during his match, you'll come in and you'll slam him. All right? No problem. Everyone's excited about it because when you watch the video, so then you have Raja in the front row. The guy's doing his match, Psycho Stu or whatever his name is, doing his match. And, he's on. He's like, yeah, they told me, the promoter told me to punch him in the face. And his friend's like, punch him for real? He's like, yeah, I'm going to punch him for real. And he's like, his buddy goes, well, what if he punches you back? And he goes, I don't care if he punches me back. And that's again, it's a paraphrased version, but it's around that bit. He jumps up, goes in the cage. And now here's the thing. I'm fine with the slam. I'm fine with it from a wrestling standpoint. All right. I understand you're not, and I understand some people aren't. But here's the thing. Raja, and I'm going to go to bat for him for a second. What he did was terrible and horrendous. Up to this point, I'm fine with it because he doesn't know how to pro wrestle. He doesn't know how to slam. There's ways to slam in pro wrestling so people don't get hurt. All right. Raja's not a pro wrestler. He knows how to slam like an MMA fighter. He knows how to slam like a freestyle wrestler, like a collegiate level freestyle wrestler. He gets the double leg, picks him up. Now, when he picks the wrestler up, the first time, I didn't see the videos in order. I saw the slam as the first video. So he picks him up. You can see the wrestler doesn't defend himself. He's a big guy. He could be pushing, kicking. He just lets it happen. Then he gets slammed. You see the back of his head bounce off the mat. He gets knocked unconscious. Now, I do feel this way. If Raja stopped right there and didn't do the fist, he has plausible deniability is that he's not a pro wrestler. He didn't know what he was doing. They told him to get up here and slam this guy. That's the only way he thought he could have slammed him. And he could have walked out of the ring. And in my personal opinion, at that point, I don't think that there is anything criminal in that case. I think in my opinion, I think it was a stunt that went wrong.
Okay, so in that standpoint, I would let's put it like this. I still think it's morally wrong because he is a pro fighter and he should know that he's going to probably really hurt the guy. That being said, from a legal standpoint, I think it would have been very hard to prosecute at that point because what's the difference? Like, how can you measure the strength that you're throwing it down? Like, you've agreed to something he doesn't know. So I would agree with you there. I still find it despicable. If he wasn't an MMA fighter or wasn't a wrestler growing up and just from training, then I'd be like, all right, he doesn't know what he's doing. He knew what that was going to do. But the point is it didn't stop there. And then he continued to rain down. People are saying 20 punches. I think you counted 23 in the video. That's obscene, insane. And multiple people had to pull him off. By the way, it's not just he got pulled off. They tried to stop him and he shucked the guy off and then continued to rain down. And then 2 people had to pull him off and then they had to fight him. This guy this is the type of thing that really grinds my gears and really pisses me off because this is what we're trying to protect society against is this type of violence and this type of just complete lack of control over what you're going to do to somebody. And this is like, what if that was your dad, your uncle, things like that, it's just so disgusting. So to me, I think it 100% should be prosecuted. I'm going to show you an article in a second that backs up exactly what my hypothesis was, that the police are going to investigate. It can take a little time for the charges to get filed. But we got somebody new in the mix, and I want to highlight their comment. I'm going to turn it back over to you in a second, Justin. But it says, Wolf Fuel says he should be charged if he killed him because that was his full intent. Just like, I get this. And I understand your perspective and I understand your feelings. Again, however, for a murder charge to ever be levied, it is like the person has to die, unfortunately. So or for whatever, that's just the way the law is written. So even if he of course was trying to kill, but that's an attempted murder charge, and that's what I think he should be charged with. It's not going to be 20 to 30 years. It's probably, if it's his first offense, I don't know his criminal history, it's probably going to be 5 years, maybe reduced down to, it's going to be a light thing relative to the scope of what it looked like. But I guarantee you he will be charged. But we got Protham in the mix too. And it's he says, the day is not far when Roger will be laying down with shots on his chest. Oh, on his chest. Oh, God. Okay. Well, here, I just want to show you guys one thing. This article just popped up today or yesterday, but it's talking about the cops are investigating it. So from TMZ, it says, is in the crosshairs of the LAPD, which I would have been very shocked if they were not pursuing criminal charges. It's open and shut, clear as day. You talk about criminal intent. You talk about mens rea, which is basically the intent to commit the act. It's all on the stream. Everything is there. I mean, it's absolutely insane. This is the easiest case to prosecute. Cops were called to the wrestling event. So they were called there. They took a report. So don't think they're not investigating it just because he got away. It's just more complicated than a straight assault battery, right? Oh, by the way, this guy's a hero. This guy saved that guy's life. If he didn't come over there, the guy would have been dead, I think. Because I don't think he would have stopped. I think this Raja guy is a psychopath. Or he had a psychotic break, but it's pretty bad. And I usually try to restrain judgment in these cases because it's a flip of a switch and things can happen. But the way that he talked about it in the chat, going up there and then thinking this was okay, it wasn't him defending his life or getting caught up in the moment. It's psychotic and it's a problem. And I think he needs some sort of punishment. He needs some sort of incarceration. Even your boy Kevin Lee saw this entire video. He said, I love Rampage Jackson. He's like, this guy's got to go lie down for some time. Meaning he's got to get some time. He's got to get some years. I couldn't agree more. It's disgusting. The vicious beatdown sent Psycho Stu to the hospital. He's fine and recovering. I don't know if he's fine and recovering. He's got multiple
knocked out. Face caved in. He's not fine.
Face caved in. Exactly. I don't know who said that. I think that quote is from Rampage Jackson saying, oh, he's recovering. He's fine. No, I don't think he's in very good shape right now. Raja will never be allowed at a knock pro wrestling match following the organization. Yes.
That goes without saying.
And then was there a mix? He attempted to drag. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. He tells TMZ he ran to okay, so this is just breaking down more of the situation. Tragic and barbaric. Rampage Jackson apologized for his son's violence, saying I read this whole quote in the tweet. I don't want to rehash it.
Stupid.
But it's pretty dang wild and it's pretty dang crazy. We're going to go through a couple more comments and then, Justin, I want to turn it over to your thoughts in terms of what you think should be the criminal. Basically, like, what do you just forget even about the law? What do you think should happen to him? And I know you want to talk about the relationship between him and Rampage. We're going to do that in a second. Big Boars says, has there been any update on Raja? Yeah, I don't think anything has happened yet. You're probably asking this after we saw that article. Joshua Slezak says, so let me tell you something. Maybe Chael was trying to put across already, this guy is a pro wrestler in a FS show. Maybe Rampage, Dana, and TKO can end the situation with a job opportunity. And said, maybe the civil side. Yes, you could maybe do something and get him a little bit out of the civil liabilities, I suppose, help him reach a settlement. But like on the criminal side, there's nothing you can do. You can't negotiate with the police or law enforcement. I'll put it like this. If he doesn't go down for some criminal prosecution, I'm going to be outraged. This happened in LA. I just realized. So it's the LAPD. This is my city. And I think I would be appalled if something does not happen. But I think something will happen. Dude needs serious charges. Matthew says, I 100% agree. Protham says, it's his father who's defending him and holding him back. Did you see the video of Rampage? He said, he always gets in trouble. Don't F with him. Oh, wow. No, I haven't seen that video. But okay, speaking of Rampage, I'm going to turn it over to Justin. Justin has some thoughts because I know you were saying you were watching some interactions between Rampage and Raja. So why don't I'll give you the floor. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm just going to finish my first thought, and then I'm going to get into that because it all links together. So again, if he hits him with the slam, he doesn't know, because here's the thing, being a pro wrestler fan, I wouldn't know how to slam somebody. So that maybe in that context, if I double leg somebody, I don't know if I'm going to flare him up or I'm going to slam him like him. So I'm really not going to give him any hate for how he did it, because again, when you don't know, you don't know. I wouldn't ever punch somebody that's unconscious. I've been in bar fights before. I knocked somebody out from slamming somebody. And as soon as I saw their dead carcass on the parking lot, I was terrified. I thought to myself that, oh shit, I'm going to jail. So nothing ever propped. All right. Now, that happens. You see the separation. Now, there's another video that's came out, and it's Raja walking down the street, and you see him, his friend. He's like, I'm not a bitch. I'm not a bitch. I'm sick of everybody telling me I'm a bitch. Now, the backstory of this. All right. I like Rampage Jackson, his son's podcast. I don't know if they have a podcast together or if he's just on the Jackson podcast. I was looking for it when the reason I was late for the show is I'm picking my son up from school. And as I was picking him up from school, I was looking for it. But every time I put in Rampage's name or Raj's name, this is what's coming up. I can't find any of the videos. But Rampage is very, very critical of his son. Everything his son does, everything, he's a bitch. That's all. Oh, you're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch. Yeah, do something. Like his son will say something. He's like, I ain't no bitch. Then Rampage will get up notes. No, do something then. Do something. It's like, bro, chill out. I do that with my son as well, but we're just playing. But you can see that his son is very bothered by it. Calls him a bitch. Raja is a he is a vegan in his diet. Rampage all the time. Oh, you bitch ass vegan. Oh, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. Now, when you hear this video of after the incident, you see Raja going down. I'm not a fucking bitch. I'm not a fucking bitch. I'm sick of everybody saying, stop playing with me. I'm not a bitch. I firmly believe this, and people aren't going to take this. But I think that after the video came out, like everyone in his chat was saying he was a bitch too for not doing anything. So I personally think that he is going to make a plea for temporary insanity. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I do know of people getting out of charges like this for saying he had a mental break. I mean, you would know better than I would. So
it's not going to fly. Good luck with that. If they do try and do that, it's not going to fly. And I'll tell you why. And this is actually perfect timing because Homework's in the mix. And Homework asked this exact question. Why do I have a feeling he'll get away with this? You know more about the legal side. So I'd love your thoughts. So here's why I don't think it would work. I mean, who knows, right? Sometimes the legal system's a little unpredictable, especially if it goes to trial and you have a jury trial. But I think it would be a pretty bad idea. So if you're talking about temporary insanity, it's kind of like the temporary insanity defense. It might not necessarily be a complete carte blanche to get out of the charges, but it can be a mitigating factor. So we have something that's called, I can't remember the exact term for it, but sometimes let's say you come home and you see your wife having hooking up with a dude right in front of you. You can say a temporary break, but you're basically in the heat of the moment. You lose control of your thoughts. You attack the guy, you kill him. It's not going to be a straight murder charge where it's like a premeditated murder, right? Murder one. It's going to be a murder 2 or murder 3, maybe not obviously involuntary manslaughter, but it'll be something where it's like you are in the heat of the moment. And so that can be a mitigating factor. You might get 10 years instead of 30. I'm talking straight murder now. So in this case, you could have that argument if the beating occurred immediately after the initial assault. The problem with trying to take any sort of defense is he had hours to cool down. There's no excuse. And on top of that, dude, it's straight up premeditated. He's telling the chat what he's going to do before he does it. And there's such a passage of time, it would be virtually impossible. So I think unless something insane and corrupt happens, which is not going to happen here, there's no way you can pull anything off. He's going to get an attempted murder charge. Now, depending on his record, what deal is the prosecutor willing to give him? I don't know. I guarantee you though, it's going to be tough because the public outrage is so bad. And this guy his injuries were so horrendous. And he's a professional fighter. Like, I don't know, man. If I was a judge, I would have almost no empathy. On top of that, dude, he's like, Rampage is his dad. He's had so many opportunities. I mean, it's just a kick in the face in so many different ways. And on top of that, some people are saying, oh, he's young. He's 25. Dude, he's 25. He's an adult. He's not 18. He's not 16. Even 18 is an adult. He's 25 years old. You know better, especially as a fighter. You know what you can do to people. And I get Justin's point about his dad berating him. Like, I understand that can take a psychological toll.
And again, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm not saying what he did was right. And I just want to answer Josh. I don't know the legal system. That was just something I thought of. I know Huzaifa does. So that's why I wanted to say what I said. I'm not trying to say that I don't practice law of any sort. That's why I wanted that cleared up from Huzaifa. He says, if you knew the legal system, well, I don't know the legal system.
Yeah, let me actually respond to Joshua. So I do know the legal system. So you're saying so you're basically saying you think it was like there's not going to be offense. So I can explain exactly. I can answer I don't know if it's a question, but I can respond to what you're saying. So you're saying it's not a crime until Stu says it wasn't set up. That's not true. So let's say if you have it's a similar example would be in an MMA fight, right? Obviously, you're not going to sue somebody for assault when you get into what's it called? Like agreed upon combat in a sanctioned event, etc. But you can get a criminal charge, and there have been criminal charges, for example, for boxers or fighters going beyond the scope of what's agreed upon. So, for example, if the bell rings and you go and you knock somebody out after that and they suffer a fall and they get an injury or they die, that can still be a murder charge, right? It's not because you've agreed to a fight that anything goes. It's still within the strictures of what's agreed upon. Going beyond that, you can still be criminally charged. So it's the same thing here. Yes, it was set up, but the problem is he went so far beyond the scope of what was agreed upon. It was clearly like beyond obvious that this was indeed a crime. Like we said before, the slam. Okay, if it ended at the slam and maybe one shot, you could argue that, hey, maybe he took it a little too far, but it was pretty much within the parameters of what they talked about. The fact that he said he was going in there with that bad intent to lay down those unanswered strikes, and then he did it straight up, and multiple people tried to pull him off. It's just like if a ref was trying to pull you off in MMA, right? If a ref was trying to pull you off and you went through, now that invincibility, now that veil is pierced and you can be held criminally liable. I'm going to let Josh give him a chance to respond. He says, that is true. Mankind and Undertaker had a cell in the cell match.
I want to answer this one.
And both said they didn't know what would happen. It was set up. But if Stu says it wasn't set up, then it's not a crime. Okay. So yeah, Justin, go for it. You want to talk about the Undertaker?
Yeah, so dude, me and John Mott have watched this match thousands of times. I've seen interviews on this match with Mankind and Undertaker. From my understanding, and maybe Josh knows better, or maybe I'm not remembering it correctly, or John Muttball can chime in as well. He was supposed to slam him on top, but he wasn't supposed to break through the cage. That was unplanned. Then when he goes down, if you watch Mankind, and I'm pretty sure, or if you watch Undertaker from the top, he's looking down at him like, holy shit, this just happened. Throwing him off the cage was intended. Putting him through the cage was not intended. When he goes down there, the referee checks on Mankind, and Mankind decided to continue the match. After both of these horrendous falls, he decided to continue the match, making it non-criminal. And I don't know if you're trying to say if it was, but regardless, he had the opportunity to stop the match. He decided to continue the match, and that's why he's arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
By the way, we got Pratham in the mix. It looks like from India. I'm Indian as well. I don't know if you knew that.
India.
But he says, and the saddest part is because of this incident, now the whole black community is being pointed out. Not sure what, which I don't even know if there was any racial stuff happening. But
question for you, Huzefa.
Yeah,
if it was a black wrestler and a white MMA fighter, do you think that LA would have went crazy?
Oh, I don't even know, man. I don't want to get. I don't even want to get into. Is LA? I didn't even know LA was going crazy. I'm going crazy right now, and I would go crazy. I 100% would go crazy.
No, they're not. I don't feel they are going crazy. I don't know, man. I feel if somebody found him racially motivated, the police would have. And I might be wrong, dude. I just feel I don't know. Just with day and age right now, it's just some of that stuff gets out of control. I don't think it was racially motivated on either side. I think it just was a bad circumstance.
No, and I don't I'm not even the racial component is so I'm not it's not even entering into my mind. It's just egregious, disgusting violence. Pratham says, I'm from India. I never ever dare to say any bad words in front of my dad. It's the same thing for me. Like that does not fly in our culture. No way. And this guy been yapping like he's talking to his friend. Yeah, I am with you 100%. Yeah, that's not gonna work. You should listen to that one comedian who's Indian, talks about the couple times he's like tried to stand up to his dad. And like, no, you don't do that in our culture.
Pratham, where are you from? Pratham, where are you from?
Yeah, Pratham, let us know where you're from in India. Joshua Matthew says, I agree with Justin, so he's with you. Yes, but Raja admitted to going off script and that he would hit him. Yeah, exactly. Muttball. That's exactly what I'm saying. Joshua's got another comment. I just think you got to look into it. It's a promotion. It's on the stream. They set up a receipt, and maybe he was waiting to be pulled off, like it was set up, and he lost a little control. I'll put it like this. I don't want to go back and forth because we'll see. I mean, the facts will show, and then the police charges will show what's going down. But like, let's see what happens. Let's see if the charges stick. Hey, you could be right. I don't think that's gonna go down. I think he is gonna be criminally charged, but you very well could be right, and we shall see. Muttball says Justin's right. It would be totally different if Mike Perry did that to some. Okay, well, I don't even want to get into all that. But Pratham, my family's from Mumbai as well. What's up?
I fought in Mumbai. I fought twice in Mumbai. I fought for it was called the Super Fight League. I was in Mumbai for 2 months. I had an incredible time. I got to go to Hotel Mumbai, and I don't know how old you are, but that terrible incident that happened at Hotel Mumbai, I got to go in there and check it all out. But yes, fought for Super Fight League. Incredible experience. Love Mumbai.
Wolf Fuel says he's a hazard to society. He needs a minimum of 20 years. I am with you that this guy is a hazard to society, to be honest, and he needs some rehabilitation. He needs some work. He needs to learn how to control his emotions. Like, it really pisses me off when people, especially who are so dangerous, can't control their emotions, especially as a man. It's like, grow up, dog. What's wrong with you? Like, do some breathing exercises, chill out. Like, there's no excuse for this. That being said, I mean, that's just not actually. I mean, there probably could be situations where this could get such a big charge, but usually when it's attempted and the person survives, like, you're just not going to get that type of a sentence unless he has priors. But my assumption is he's not like a career criminal. So we got to follow the letter of the law. We have the laws in place. We've agreed to them. So it is what it is. And we shall see how it goes down. Big Boris says, do you think Raja getting mad over his kick chat for rage baiting do I think it's childish behavior? Yeah. Do I think it's childish behavior? I think it's beyond. I don't even think a child would act that way. I think it is, how do I put it? I think it is psychotic. And I think I just don't even understand it. I mean, I can understand people's emotions getting the better of them, obviously. But when you have all this responsibility of that great power, right? You have to learn to show some restraint. It's like somebody getting in a car and having such bad road rage at a pedestrian and deciding to run them over. Like, you would think, obviously, that's messed up. It's kind of like that when there's that big of a differential in terms of skill and power and ability to fight. You're going in there with like a car versus a pedestrian. It's insane, and you have to be a psychopath to justify that. Or maybe like there's something to this. This is not a pass by any means, but there's something to the notion that Justin said this guy's been so beaten up by Rampage and so ridiculed by his dad or by other people his entire life that he had a psychotic break. And this is a one-off. I don't know the guy. All I can say is looking at this incident is disgusting. And yeah, that type of behavior, there's just no place for it in modern society, in my opinion. Matrix Fight Night, decent promotion, says Wolf Fuel. Josh will see, like, look, was it crazy? Yes, but it's okay. Pro wrestling had some okay, fair enough. We'll just agree to move on from that. And then Mupball says you can see it in every video with him and Rampage. He lives in his dad's shadow, and everyone was
that's what I was talking about.
This is Justin's point, 100% low IQ behavior. It's not we can't just justify with low IQ. It's not that. Anybody can understand restraint. So I can't put it down. I know I've heard other people saying that. I disagree. This is psychotic behavior, in my opinion. Just to see you got Wolf Fuel and Josh. Okay, I'm not gonna show that comment. People are messing with each other in the chat. Matthew says, I can't believe he hasn't been arrested yet. That's crazy. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's more complex than it looks. So I think the police have to do proper investigation before, and they have to talk to the prosecutor before charges can be filed, and then we're gonna get in arrest. Protham says, sorry, we're going to move on for this in a second. It's just such a crazy story. Raja's ego was hurt, and he genuinely wanted to hurt that guy, so he did it in the name of the script. I don't think he did it in the name of the script. I think he went well beyond the script. He was recently knocked out on stream and was I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, for the knockout the day before or something. That's what Rampage was saying, and people were clowning him.
I mean, saw the video of him getting kicked. He doesn't even fall down. He just eats a clean head kick, stumbles, and he's on his feet. I don't think it was a knockout, and that's the most bullshit excuse I've ever heard, because Rampage said, he had a concussion a couple days. Listen, I have been knocked down training. Martin Campman's knocked me out. Kevin Lee's knocked me out. Mateus has knocked me out. I've never thought, like, I'm going to go beat up a pedestrian because I just got knocked out. I don't care who gives me a hard time about it. Like, that has never been a feeling or a thought in my head, no matter what. If anything, I feel stupid and a piece of shit, but it's not to take it out on somebody else.
Yeah, none of this gives me any sympathy. Donald Gage back in the mix. Donald, welcome back. Haven't seen you while. He says undiagnosed bipolar. Yeah, I mean, it's probably beyond the scope of bipolar, because you could say that, but it's not. Again, it wasn't like in the heat of the moment, like a rage-based attack. It was premeditated. And I also think, I'm going to chime you in one second. I also think it shows a break from empathy. And that's the thing about psychopaths. I don't know if he's a psychopath. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. So I'm not diagnosing him, but I do know that it's essentially that disconnect from the empathy that allows them to basically look at other people or animals as objects and do unthinkable things. So I believe there's probably has to be some element of that, because I can't wrap my head around it otherwise. Justin, what are you going to say?
Off topic, guys. Right now we have 21 watchers on the stream. We appreciate it so much. One of our bigger shows. Please like And like the stream, guys. Share the stream. It helps our stream grow. We're almost up to 2,600 followers or 2,600 subs. We've been doing this for going on 3 years now. And to see 21 people all watching us right now at the same time is incredible. If you guys could like the stream, I greatly appreciate it. I know Josefa does as well.
Heck yeah, we really appreciate it. This is the best time of our week, every day, every Monday and Friday doing the show. It's so much fun, and we love the community, all you guys coming in and chiming in. I hope you realize we're trying to do our best to read through the comments in addition to doing the show. So we really appreciate all the feedback. Joshua says, hey, never say never. Fair enough. No, I get what you're saying. Vlad the Kebabber is back in the mix. He says Jackson is screwed and will be sued. Will never stream again. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work with the liability.
Who would want to watch a stream after that? Who would want to watch it?
Yeah, if you're talking about Raja, I don't know if you're talking about Rampage or Raja, but yeah, dude, I don't know if people want to watch Raja, although you never know. The world is sick. Sometimes people might be like, oh, I want to check this guy out. He's such a crazy man. Who knows what's going to happen? Yep, you're right. Donald says lack of empathy. And Pratham says the guy who got knocked out was a retired Army. Yeah, he was a retired Army veteran. He suffers from, what's it called?
PTSD.
PTSD, exactly. And he was in the search of happiness. He was depressed. Yeah, I know. It's really messed up. Muttball says he doesn't have anything to sue for. I think he does, actually. I think he could definitely sue for, the medical bills and you could probably add on emotional distress and different things like that. I think he could sue civilly for sure. In there, I think there's going to be criminal prosecution. I guess time will tell. A couple more comments, and we're going to move on. Big Boar says, "Did you see the clip?" Yeah, I heard about this.
I saw this morning.
Yeah, that's so weird. He got pinned, and then after all that, which is the guy was unconscious. I think people were just confused. That was probably what was supposed to happen, and the guy went in there and was very confused. The people that push him into it will watch maybe, and then he won't be able to stream without someone bringing it up. Yeah, that's 100% true. This is going to follow him forever, and it is what it is. Justin, we've talked about this for like 40 minutes. As we start to move on, do you have any final thoughts, anything else you want to say on this before we wrap it up?
No, I think it was crazy. I think it was out of line. I think it was disgusting. And here, guys, I am a big component of violence. I want to see violence. I want to see get people fucked up. But for me to say that I feel that was not over the line, but so far over the line that I even find it disgusting it really says something.